Alright, hello everybody, welcome to this live stream here on Twitch. I'll be uploading this video to my YouTube channel as well. Guys, I gotta say I am absolutely pumped. Pumped, I'm telling you. I have been a video game player all my life, but it wasn't until I played my first MMO, massively multiplayer online game, which happened to be Ultima Online back in 1998. When I was in the Navy, bought a laptop and got my first dose of what it's like to play against other players, play with other players in a big open world. I mean, that was a 2D game. That was on dial-up internet back in 1998, and it completely absorbed me. It took like my inner soul and my heart right out of my chest and right there onto my little laptop display. I would plug in my laptop to any dial-up connection I could possibly get, whether it be on that ship, whether it be in a hotel room on the weekends or whatever, and I was taken away to a whole nother world. Cesaria was the name of the world in Ultima Online, and then it was Asheron's Call after that. And guys, I've played a ton of MMOs since those days, and I still remember like the first time World of Warcraft launched. And when I played that, after I had already played Ultima Online, loved Asheron's Call, also loved Dark Age of Camelot. All of those games had consequences for dying. All of those games had, loot drop and things like that, and you could be attacked almost anywhere in the world in all those games. Asheron's Call, and I don't think you could be attacked in the cities in you could be in Asheron's Call, but you couldn't be attacked in cities in like Dark Age Camelot. But for the most part, all three games were open world PvP. Guys, I haven't been this excited for an MMO in a long time. I remember when World of Warcraft first came out, I loved it. I mean, it was definitely, for its time, it was a game that really polished the MMO genre, streamlined the MMO genre so pretty much any casual player could play it. Hardcore players liked it as well because it was so streamlined and so polished. But I remember playing it and feeling underwhelmed. I remember thinking that game took your hand too much and assisted you too much, and the fact that you couldn't be ganked or killed by other players anywhere in the world, like the other games that I had loved, was disappointing to me. But I remember the biggest disappointment with World of Warcraft was just that, like, all the quest givers and stuff like that would have golden exclamation points and question marks over their head showing you right where to go. It was kind of a no-brainer. You didn't even have to think about it. And so many MMOs since World of Warcraft have tried to clone the success of World of Warcraft that they've almost copied the formula that World of Warcraft created way back in 2004. So I kind of got tired of playing new MMOs. I bet you I've played over 100 MMOs to date, but I really haven't been this excited for an MMO in at least 10 years. I think the last one I was excited for was Guild Wars 2, and that was a long time ago. But guys, this one here really looks to be just jaw-dropping graphics for an MMO. Something that's been in development, I think, since like 2014, 2015, over 10 years now it's been in development. And I had no idea that they were fixing to launch this game on Steam and allow us to jump in for under $50. That's right, guys. If you guys have been following Ashes of Creation, if you guys have known about Ashes of Creation, I first learned about it probably in 2017, 2018, and I've been blown away every time I look at the videos they pump out or the screenshots or whatever. Here's the Ashes of Creation website, and I am really pumped for this one, guys. It's been a long time since I've been hooked on an MMO. Not since Asheron's Call have I been this excited for an MMO, and it's been a long time since I really played a lot of Asheron's Call, which was my favorite game. Not just my favorite MMO, but my favorite game of all time is Asheron's Call. Will Asheron's Call finally have a game that beats it? In my heart, anyway. That's the question I want to answer. But if you guys are excited for big open world MMOs, you guys should take a closer look at Ashes of Creation if you haven't already done so. So, I had no idea this thing was coming to Steam, guys. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. I did find it on Steam. Guys, it's coming soon. About 3 weeks from the time I'm making this video right here. Ashes of Creation is an old school. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Ultima Online, Asheron's Call, EverQuest. An old school take on the modern MMO set in a living, reactive world where your choices shape civilization. Guys, it is a PvX open world sandbox. You can build cities, forge empires, lay siege to foes, uncover the ancients as you fight to reclaim the fallen world of Vera. PvX, guys, means that it's both PvE and PvP anywhere. So, yes, you can be, quote, ganked by other players for your loot in Ashes of Creation. But I'm telling you from experience with the old school MMOs I was talking about, guys, it is disheartening to get ganked by another player, especially if they're a lot higher level, or by 5 players when you're out mining by yourself or whatever, and they take all your stuff. Yes, that's disheartening. But nothing is more rewarding or satisfying than when you escape that PvP fight, or when you get revenge on those PvPers. Now, Ashes of Creation, I do know, has like a bounty system and a corruption system, so if like players are going and killing you just for your loot, and you haven't attacked them first or whatever, they do become like the aggressor, then they kill you, just for your loot or whatever. I believe they go up in corruption or whatever, and then I don't know exactly how it all works, guys, but like in Ultima Online back in the day, you could put a bounty on somebody's head if they ganked you or killed you for no reason, and then their bounty continues to grow. And then whoever kills that player and takes their head into a guard, they would get whatever that total bounty was. So it would make killing players for no reason, it would make it very consequential. And I do know that there's going to be big time consequences in Ashes of Creation for going around and just ganking people or killing them for no reason. So I'm excited to see what that's about, guys. Last I knew about this game, it was going to be many years before it would ever launch on Steam or launch at the price point it's going to launch at. I know that just a few years ago, they had like a $350 price tag to jump into the early access and play the game or something. And I wasn't about that. I wasn't about paying hundreds of dollars to play an early access game and just only play the betas or whatever. But now, guys, they're going to be launching this game. It is going to be $49.99 US dollars minus a 15% discount. So you're talking just over $40, $42.49 US dollars to jump into Ashes of Creation. And it's going to be alpha. So it's going to be really early. So you're going to have to expect bugs and things like that. But I know I've seen a couple of friends streaming this game in previous months, and it looks pretty damn polished for a alpha or beta version of the game, and from what I understand, it's still an alpha. So the cool thing is you guys can jump in, and this is going to be an MMO that's going to have a $15 a month price tag. But that's once it actually launches out of early access, once it goes out of alpha and beta, once it fully launches, that's when the monthly charges will start. Guys, based on the history of this thing that's been in development for like 10 years, I would expect that it's going to be in early access for at least 2 more years. So that's a hell of a deal, in my opinion, to be able to jump in and play it for over 2 years, probably. And I guess I'm just guessing, but you're probably going to be able to play this game for a long time without any monthly fees. So that's one reason I'm pumped. And I mean, if you look at the graphics here, guys, if you look at the graphics for this game, if you haven't seen the graphics for an MMO, this is just phenomenal. This is incredible. When you compare this to like old school MMOs,
empires flourished and spread
games like Asheron's Call and Ultima Online.
Its people.
It's unbelievable to me that they're going to be able to make a game that looks this good with hundreds of players on a server.
Wilderness, daring any perils that lay between.
And I don't know how many players are going to be on each server, but it's probably going to be quite a few. May not be hundreds.
Magic itself. But this wondrous age.
And obviously this is a trailer, this isn't what the in-game graphics will look like. But it still gives you an idea.
Ancients showed no mercy. Survivors were advised to flee to the divine gates.
But this is just a trailer here.
You reclaim awaits.
This one here might show more gameplay.
The final segment of the Ashes
There
of
we go.
Creation early testing is here. Alpha 2 Phase
There's your
3 calls
gameplay.
all variants once more to help shape its future through providing
Which is still
feedback,
phenomenal, like I
hunting
say.
bugs, and discovering new frontiers to conquer. Your journey begins with a choice. Select your starting zone. Either the lush riverlands, alive with winding waterways and endless green forests, or the Anvils, homeland of the Dinzinkel dwarves, where towering mountains,
Look at those
ancient
mountains.
forges, and untold adventures await. Step into a refined first-time experience, crafted to launch you into the world.
Yes.
2 new races join the fight. The nature-connected Pyre and the renowned Nikuan explorers. Who will you become? Nodes have been renamed to settlements. You can now advance your settlement to the town stage, unlocking new service building layouts and expanded skill trees. With every upgrade, the settlements of Vera feel more alive than ever. With bigger settlements comes bigger resources. So how are you going to move all that stuff? There's personal crates for keeping your loot safe, construction crates to transport building materials, and commodity crates to trade goods between settlements. Basically, if it's got stuff, we've got a crate for it. We've also rebalanced the economy and stats. Crafting, gathering, drops, recipes, vendors, quests, you name it. Everything's tuned for smoother progression. And for our testers who purchase packages, check your in-game mailbox to claim some mounts and costumes to show off your style.
Look at that mount. You can ride a big bunny
Phase
rabbit.
3 is packed with even more goodies, from guild progression and storage to new pocket dungeons and more, ready to be encountered.
So if you guys haven't heard of Ashes Creation and MMO, I can see, I can imagine that you're probably pretty excited for this thing as well, since it comes so soon. But guys, I did want to get a couple of questions answered this morning. So on the forums, because I haven't been following this so close, because I honestly thought it was so far out before we'd be able to get our hands on this, especially on Steam. So a few questions I asked on their forums just a few hours ago. First of all, I told them congratulations, and the decision to launch this game on Steam, I think, was a wise decision. So you can buy the game right now in early access, and you can play today for a $100 price tag if you buy it on their website. Get immediate access to the game and all the alphas and betas, so you get their own launcher if you buy it on their website. However, the game, like I said, is going to be just $42.49 with a discount for 2 weeks from December 11th to December 25th through Christmas. You'll be able to get it at a substantial discount over buying it on the website, plus you'll get it on Steam. So I kind of asked, why would I buy it for $100 on the website when I can just wait for it to launch on Steam? Right? Is there any other advantages? And there really is no other advantages, is what they said. So question number 2, I said, why don't you, like if you do buy it on the website and get in right now or whatever, do these players get Steam keys? There was another person that asked this, and they said, no, you won't get Steam keys if you buy it on the website. And I basically said, hey, that's really silly to not offer the Steam keys, because I'm an indie developer and I know you can get Steam keys really easily. And I think they're dropping the ball by not offering people who purchase it on their website Steam keys the day it launches on Steam. Maybe somebody will see that and think secondly of it and start giving these people that have purchased the game on their website and supported the game, maybe they'll start giving those people Steam keys. We'll see. But I do think it's silly that they're not offering Steam keys for purchasing on their website, especially when you're paying so much more. And I asked if we have rights to live stream the game. We do have rights to live stream the game, even if you buy it on their website, like before it launches on Steam. And I said, are there in-game transactions that we can acquire now if we buy it on Steam when it launches, or if you buy it on the website, such as mount, player custom outfits, etc. And then I also asked if we have to pay a monthly fee of $15 a month if we purchase it now. And the answers to those last 2 questions, I've already answered the first 3 questions, but they say there will be new cosmetic options as of December 11th when it launches on Steam, and you'll be able to preview the options before you buy the game, is essentially what they're saying there. And then they're saying for number 5 about the monthly fees, to be clear, there is no subscription cost until the game fully launches. That means out of early access, that probably means at least 2 years before you'll be any kind of monthly fees. That's just a guess. But I mean, it's already been in development for 10 years. It's only in alpha. I think it's going to be some significant time before it fully launches and we start getting those $15 a month fees. So, and then he just reiterates everything I've pretty much said here. Uh, you don't really get anything by paying the $100 on the website over what you'll get by buying it on Steam, and you still don't get the Steam keys as well. So I think you'd be silly to not wait until it launches on Steam on December 11th at this point. And that's really what I was kind of wanting to know. But here's the website, guys. You guys can read all about it. You guys can read all about all the different archetypes and the history of the game, the PvP, the risk versus reward. There'll be opportunities for players of all types to engage with the world with each other. Will you siege castles to become royalty, defeat other guilds to showcase your prowess, shape the marketplace by being a successful trader, or earn renown by developing your artisan crafting skills? So you can be a crafter, you can be the adventurer that, just seeks out adventure. You can be somebody who's a PvPer and you're trying to attack other players', castles and things like that. Whatever you want to do is going to be open to you in Ashes of Creation. So guys, let's go ahead and take a look. What I wanted to do was right here. I want to go ahead and take a look. They did a live stream yesterday when they announced this was coming to Steam. So I just kind of want to see the reaction of people that didn't know, because this was live. They just made the announcement, and here's where they're about to announce it here. You can go watch the stream. It's on Twitch right now. It's probably on YouTube as well. But it is their October development update. And this is where they're going to announce that it's coming to Steam on December 11th. Something we know now from watching this video, but the people that watch the stream did not know. So let's go ahead and watch this announcement right here, guys.
An integral component of the success and progress that we as a development team are capable of making, because it's not possible, obviously, without our community and without people who want to see this project come to life. I mean, ultimately, that's the whole point of us taking this kind of transparent development approach, where we're here with you every month, albeit this time we were a couple weeks late. Unfortunately, that was unavoidable, but every single month, providing updates on our progress and what we're building and why we're building it and how we're doing it and what changes we're making. I mean, I saw a lot of happy faces when you saw the duels that were implemented. We made some changes in this milestone because of the feedback that we received from the community about getting duels in game. And of course, we are going to extend that, obviously, to party dueling as soon as we can, and eventually raid dueling. And we're going to have some in-game arena locations where there might be some, flagging options and whatnot that we're going to prioritize. But when we started Alpha 2 back in October of 2024, we talked a little bit about the phases, phase 1 and phase 2 being focused on stability and focused on optimization efforts and, establishing a lot of that core tech in the world. And phase 3, we talked about that being where we would introduce a larger portion of the audience. Of MMORPG enthusiasts, people who may not be following along in our development, who might be kind of at a distance aware of Ashes of Creation, but aren't necessarily following the development because, that's not their gig. They don't want to follow a game that's as in the trenches of active development as we historically have been. But the expectation was that when phase 3 came, that would be a setting where we would be more capable of expanding that testing audience, that player audience, to really validate what it is that we are trying to do with Ashes of Creation, both from a game design perspective, from a company and a dev perspective, as well as ultimately where we feel the genre needs to go in order to evolve, in order to create more dynamic worlds, something that is predicated on player activity and decision and community choices. And we have a very big announcement today that is shortly going to be coming up. And I think that it is going to be one that is going to continue to push us forward in the development of Ashes, and include a lot of new voices. And we're going to get into talking about the details of that announcement after you see this brief trailer that we're going to be showing. We talked about a little bit of a marketing push here at the end of 2025. This has been a big year for us, and 2026 is going to be an even bigger year for us. We're very excited about it. But stay tuned for after this. We're going to go into detail about what it means for you as a tester, what it means for the project, what it means for the next phase of our alpha leading into beta and eventually launch. We are getting closer, guys, and we are focused on what is important. So let's take a look.
All right, here we go, guys.
Vera was once a world of abundance. Great empires flourished and spread across endless seas. Its people, your people, carved kingdoms from wilderness, daring any perils that lay between. For at the heart of this world lays the essence, magic itself. But this wondrous age of discovery and purpose left few prepared for the horrors to come. For the ancients showed no mercy. Survivors were advised to flee to the divine gates. An age passed before the gates reawakened. But now,
Oh, there we go.
you and your people have returned to reclaim your ancestral home. Your destiny awaits.
Right there. That's where people saw. Let's take a look at the reaction by the viewers.
Oh my goodness.
People were, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ooh,
we
holy
are going to
shit.
be expanding our testing audience and
Ding.
players to incorporate a
That was
much
epic.
larger community, and we
That's
are
cool.
excited. Margaret, talk to us a little bit about what this means.
Oh my gosh, so many things. But first, look at that trailer. A lot of love to our character environment artists who kicked butt and made such a beautiful
Yeah,
world.
the viewers were
Obviously.
excited
And
yesterday
then
when they
we also
announced that
worked
on
with
Steam.
Brazen, who is an amazing studio, to create this wonderful trailer. So we hope that you
Absolutely.
enjoy it. It is very much a lore trailer. The goal is to kind of have something that's a little bit more evergreen for us to use for future stuff. So you definitely will be seeing this maybe at some events and other places and spaces. But you kind of follow Riley as she's coming back from, or coming through, and she's an oracle. She's seeing this kind of flashback of what's happening, what happened in the past,
Yes.
and for the first time is like summoning the essence herself, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and of course, we have plenty, copious amounts of gameplay footage that we provided from an update perspective. But when we're talking about expanding our audience now to incorporate, as I said prior to the trailer, a less engaged, less aware, player, they're going to want to see something that gives them a very quick understanding of what's the world that I'm getting involved with. What's the idea of the story here? And I think in the minute and 30 seconds that we have with this trailer, as beautiful as it is, as Margaret said, the amazing collaboration between our artists, between Brazen Studio, in preparing this, it gives really good context for understanding, like, as a player, you're returning to an environment that's unknown, that's fraught with danger. That is also a canvas where you can build again a civilization and have a hand in that development. And I think this captures that pretty well, while also giving the understanding and setting for We're a fantasy game. We're a wizards and knights type of game. There's an antagonist now that we're introducing with the Harbingers update in our Ancients that have always been the primary antagonist of our story, but has something that we've held relatively close to the chest from a content and update perspective that you are now getting to experience for the first time, although we'll be refining that on the PTR setting within the PTR. So, you know, it is going to be something that it is easily digestible and gives context for a new viewer.
Yeah, and so now a lot of you probably wonder, what does this mean? Why are we doing this? So we're going to go over the why, the what, the how, all the details, and hopefully that gives you guys the answers. We'll also have an article that goes over all of this stuff too, so that it's easy for you to digest that way if you prefer it. But I know a lot of people don't like reading, so as we mentioned before, as far as updates go,
I like how she said a lot of you don't
make
like
sure that you know
reading.
the dates and timelines for things.
I think that's an insult.
Upcoming testing, we are going to have Alpha 2, Lotharia, and Shoal realms down while we're doing PTR testing, but they will be available November 15th through 16th and November 26th through December 1st. And December 1st will be our big community send-off. We'll have vendors for you guys, some special mount vendors, things like that. So
Mount vendors.
we'll have a little event that you can participate in. It'll be throughout the day for the various different time zones. I know our EU folks and our NA folks all want to be able to participate, so we'll try to make sure it's something that you can all participate with on December 1st. That will be our send-off, and then we will be wiping the Alpha 2 realms, as we had mentioned previously. And there's, you know, obviously we're going to have a big start on December 11th with everybody, so it's going to be a whole thing. But in the interim, we will also be doing the testing that Stephen had talked about, November 17th through 25th and December 2nd through December 10th. A lot of bug fixing, a lot of...
Okay, so November 1st is going to be a big place to get like the vendors and mounts and stuff like that on the vendors if you have purchased this game on their website. Which at $100, I wouldn't recommend, guys. I would recommend waiting until it launches on Steam when you can get it for less than half of that. But, yeah, so they're going to be in testing and nobody will be able to stream it or anything like that from the 2nd through the 10th of December. And then on the 11th of December, it's going to launch for Phase 3 of the alpha. And this will be a complete wipe. So there won't be any, you know, already established, you know, castles or guilds or anything like that, because it'll be just completely wiped on the 11th when it launches on Steam. So I can imagine that's going to be an influx of tons more players, probably tens of thousands more players on that day specifically. So there's going to be a shit ton of people in the game on December 11th, and that would be the best day to sign in, I think, and to buy the game would be December the 11th. That way you can get in, start grinding your skills up, your players, start gathering resources, things like that, and start, you know, establishing whatever it is you decide you want to do in the game on that day. So December 11th is going to be a big game, guys. This is a game, like I said, that's been in development since like 2014 or 2015. It's been in development forever. I know they've already made a ton of money because, like I said, a few years ago, they were charging, I think, $350, maybe even more. I think I remember one entry level of like $500 to get into the game. So, yeah, that's a lot of money to get into a game, but you guys can get in for a hell of a lot less coming December 11th. So I'm going to go ahead and end this right here. I'm going to have this a video on my YouTube channel. Be sure and comment down below, guys. Let me know if you guys are pumped for Ashes of Creation and if you're going to be there day one on December 11th. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. You can find much more information on their Discord, guys. They have their own Discord, and they have this, you know, this stream video that I just barely watched a few minutes of it. You can watch the whole live stream from yesterday on November 14th, or you can definitely check out their website, which I'll have linked. I'll have all that linked down below, guys, below the video on my YouTube. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. This has been Zach Stern, and we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Take care.